So this is the original throttle on the boat. Moves this lever. So it was connected to some other push rods and stuff, but now the plan will be to make a bracket and install my speed controller, the rheostat for it, and hook that right up to the original controls. This is the original shifter on the floor, so I need to modify that to work with the shifter rod and a little switch. It's a waterproof switch that'll operate the relays that give me reverse. So here's the final setup on the shifter. Here's the shifter rod, and over here is the new switch for the relays. So when the shifter rod is moved, it will click it from forward to reverse. So for the speed control rheostat, I've made a waterproof little box for it, because it probably does not tolerate water real well. Okay, the throttle is now hooked up to the original throttle lever. And that should be a great solution. There is no friction against this rheostat in here, so the shaft moved back and forth a little too easily. Solution: supposed to use a couple of 1x2s and sandwich the extended rod under the upper 1x2, so then I can just tighten down this 1x2 and make the resistance where I want it to have a little feel to the throttle. Just like that. I've taken the controller off the motor, and because the motor was running kind of hot, it's time to make it water cooled. So I will wrap 5/8 inch copper coil around it, and that should do the trick. Okay, I've got the copper coil around the motor, so I get that hooked up to a freshwater pump, and that should help the motor go a little cooler. It's not as pretty as I would have liked, but I would have to take the motor out to get a nice wrap. I'll see how this works out. I may still need to take the motor out and build a belt reduction. We will see. Roller, everything is hooked back up, and I've got the plumbing for the cooling more or less hooked up. The batteries in the rear compartment are now installed, right where the gas tank used to be. Is reassembled up front, and everything is hooked up on the motor, and the rest of the battery is up front here. And now to thread the shaft. There, the new shaft is threaded and the prop is on. I got a hold of another prop, and it seems like it's almost identical to the old one. It's very hard to tell. The blade might be slightly smaller. I will test the boat with both of them. So the bearing's out of there, and before I put the new one in, I'm going to just hone it out to make sure there aren't any burrs or anything stopping it. So that should work. There's the new prop shaft with the old prop on it, and a new bearing in the strut.
The next problem is that the prop does not line up with the stuffing box once the new bearing is in place, because that says a little bit how much slop the old bearing had.
So cruising at 5 miles an hour, this thing is nice and quiet.